It is weekly rotation time. I'm going to get straight into it. I've had a pretty good week this week, and going all the way back to Monday, I started off with a couple of what I would describe green scents, I guess, and this first one is Tabac Vert from Rogue Perfumery. Green in the sense that there's green in the name, i.e. Vert, and it is less so a tobacco to me than this kind of almost green musk with lots of spice, carnation type spice. Whatever the sense of tobacco is there, it gives the sense of a green, undried tobacco still growing on the plant, and it's just such a unique perfume to me, and it's always smells beautiful and long lasting as well. Then in the afternoon, I did a review of this earlier in the week. It's the very, very impressive Lever Jardin by Zara. Green in the sense that this also dries down to a leather. It's got a green kind of mossiness to it, some bright citruses at the top. But please check out my review if you haven't. If you can get your hands on this, it's, as per usual, Zara, really good value for money. The following day, I wore, by coincidence really, two perfumes that were both released in 1978 when I was only 5 years old. And two perfumes released that year that went on to become really popular and I guess classics in the masculine perfume category. First of all, we have Lagerfeld Classic, formerly known as Lagerfeld Cologne when this first came out, and my little miniature of Azzaro Pour Homme. So different in that one is, I guess, almost like an archetype fougere, and Lagerfeld Classic is this crazy aldehydic powdery amber with hints of orange and spice and tobacco. So different, yet both so of the era, I guess. But maybe just two different types of guys wore these. I don't know what, but I mean, I enjoy both of them. I prefer the Lagerfeld to the Azzaro if I had to choose between them, but wonderful perfumes either way. We come to Wednesday's Lavender Day, and I start off with Anat Fritz Classical, lavender, vetiver, patchouli, bit of cedar, but I've spoken about this one before. It's not widely distributed. It's probably not widely known about, but it is, and I keep repeating myself here, one of my favorite lavender perfumes, also one of my favorite vetiver perfumes, and you may as well throw in one of my favorite patchouli perfumes. It's got it all, but at the same time has this very minimalist feel about it. It just all smells good. All aspects of it smell good, and it's so wearable, almost year-round perfume. I mean, I think you could get away with this in almost any weather. Then a more complex lavender-based fougere. Again, the wonderful, perennial favorite for me, Sartorial by Penhaligon's. Not just lavender, of course. There's this gorgeous beeswax accord in there that thickens the whole thing up. There's this kind of steaminess. See, people mention metallic notes in this, but to me, there's almost like a steamy powderiness about this, about Sartorial, that just blends so well with those classic fougere notes like lavender and mossy base. Although this one in the base probably gets a bit more sweeter, more vanillic notes, but never overdoes it. On to Thursday, I wore two perfumes. One that is probably, well, it's been out in some form or another for more than 70 years. That's Eau d'Hermès, albeit my bottle is the current bottle, and one of the very newest perfumes in my collection, and that's Habit Rouge, Rouge Privé, which was only released earlier this year. I love them both. I'm so impressed with this. I've done a comparison or review of this with regular Habit Rouge, but in summary, this one is living off a little bit more of a leather accord. There is a bit more iris running through this as the dominant floral note, but otherwise the rest of it opening base is Habit Rouge. It was an atmospheric Friday. I started off with my sample of Czech and Speaks Cuba cologne. Now this is bay rum, mint. What else is there? Boozy concoction tobacco. It definitely gives the feel of a listless, breezeless, warm summer night, maybe quite humid and heavy, but it is a real vibe and atmosphere and very evocative of a time and place. And I guess, by calling it Cuba, it's very easy to come up with things in your scent memory associations or imagined associations. My only gripe with this is that it's so soft, and either I am anosmic to it very, very quickly, or it literally only lasts on my skin a couple of hours, and I want it to last longer because I actually really love how it smells. But on the other hand, an atmosphere of another kind, the wild coasts of Portugal, inspired Brum by Misqueo, and this has no problems on my skin, at least, with lasting power. It is kind of a meditative scent for me. It was a warmer day than usual when I wore these perfumes, and they were just perfect. And I had not worn Brum for probably, since early March, I think. So it's always nice when I get around to the parts of my perfume wardrobe that I haven't touched in months, and just to sort of refamiliarize myself with them all. Yesterday was Gentleman's Day, when I wear 1962 by Floris, the now sadly discontinued 1962 by Floris, London, and Equipage Geranium by Hermès. Two great, gentlemanly, classy perfumes that can go with casual, formal, it doesn't matter, anytime, and they all smell great. Obviously, geranium, spices, blonde woods in this one. And 1962 has a wonderful kind of sweet basil note that goes with all the other, fir-like cypress woods that go into this perfume. There's a brightness about it that's coming from the herbs more than what you would normally rely with citruses. And yes, this does remind people. Some people say this reminds them of original Polo Green. To me, I'm not familiar with the original vintage Polo. I always get reminded of the first time I smelled Italian Cypress by Tom Ford, and there are parts of this perfume that really do remind me of that. This morning, it's always a good day when I wear Eau Sauvage Parfum by Christian Dior. This is the 2017 version, and my final scent of the day for this week, ending the what is the date today? 28th? No, I can't remember. I'm going to wear Habanita and just, show off that beautiful bottle design. Let's see. Let's see what I'm smelling. Mastic resin is the thing that stands this apart with a combination of florals. There is a kind of fruitiness in the opening, and then it gets kind of smoky and powdery. Heliotrope comes in. It is unlike really anything I've smelled before. It is not compared to when I was talking about classical wear that I could wear anytime. Habanita is a particular time scent of the day. It's Sunday evening. I am staying in, so I'm going to enjoy Habanita. Highlights this week. I really enjoyed all my perfumes this week. None really stood out. Like apart from the disappointment of that Cuba cologne not lasting long enough for me, everything I wore this week was a real winner and had the desired effects. So I had a good perfume week over the last 7 days, and the weather is changing. We're getting some warmer weather. Spring is around the corner. So you might start seeing a few perfumes in these weekly rotations that you haven't seen for a while. Hopefully it'll stop you from getting bored. All right, that's enough from me. Thank you for watching. I'll see you all soon. Bye.